So I pay real money for AI Slop every week on purpose. You heard me, on purpose. And if that sounds stupid, stick around, because the day I stopped fighting it is the day my songs got good. Now that I got your attention, let's talk about what I actually mean is all the iterations before the final one. Because when I generate, like, the first version in Suno is always garbage. No matter how much I try. Second, third, sometimes that's garbage. Changing genres, and again, we get some garbage. So the first version is always shit. It doesn't matter always. Mine, everyone's, whatever. The only difference is if someone accepts their first render, they publish it, then yeah, they're publishing shit or whatever, posting shit, which to each their own. But 20 renders, 19 die. So like the song I just made about the call, 11 recalls, the voice memo for my buddy turned into a song. It went like 6 genres, 39 renders, and the gospel failed at 2, but won at 6, because it's just a matter of taking it, if you're going to use pieces of it or whatever, and figuring out, no, what do I want to change? What do I want to change? And sometimes it's like, fuck this is complete and other shit. A lot of times, and I don't know about you, but I actually end up cussing out Claude. Like, especially today, Claude is just, Jesus Christ. It's just like, what the hell? We set up these skills, and like, why am I having to, like, why are we not even doing, like, I set up a skill to help me with outline for these videos, and I'm like, dude, we fixed this last week when I did the batch. And then Claude's like, no, actual dumbass, you had the version 2 of the skill, but you never installed it. Fuck you, Claude. Anyway, I digress. But the paying for the renders, it's just part of the overall cost. People think it's like, it's not. You render one. It's not the true cost is how many credits it took overall to develop that. So it's not just like, oh, Suno, it's only 5 credits for this song output, because I actually had to get 40 renders to there. Now 40 times 5, whatever, is 200 Suno credits. In the grand scheme of things, 10,000 is like, I don't know, $15 a month. So it's not really that much money when you think about it. But you gotta look at the whole cost. And then the other thing is, people are so concerned, burning credits. And I'm like, dude, I used to be that way hundreds of thousands of credits ago, but not so much anymore, because you got to use the credits. Now, a couple of tricks to be credit conscious. With Suno, there really isn't any, because it's so I just do the 10,000 credits, and I don't think I've ever ran out of credits. But like with video renders like Kling, maybe reducing the quality to 720 and then taking off the native sound on some, that seems to help as well. But don't be afraid to re-roll a couple of times, especially when it takes 5, like sometimes like Kling, 3 minutes to render, because you're doing like 5 multi-shots together, 15-second clip. It's going to take 5 minutes, and I want to re-roll that because I would rather have 2 ready at once, because that's a big chunk of the film. Sometimes if it's simple, you're like, I do an okay job, I don't need to re-roll it. But the first version of Suno is a trial run. So what I'll do, and it gives me an idea, because I'll come up, here's the lyrics, we finalize the lyrics. Sometimes with the lyrics, I'm writing the lyrics and then Claude is helping refine them. Other times I give kind of like the concepts, Claude writes it, we refine it. Either way, we tag team it, and either way. But when I see the lyrics and then I see the style prompt and put it all together in the genre in my mind, Sometimes it's quicker to put it in Suno, render it just to kind of hear it, even though I'm not going to use it, and it'll help me get an idea to where to go. Where does it drag? Because number one, a lot of times the songs are too long anyway. What can I cut? Where does it drag? Is this even the right genre? How's the tempo? How's the tempo of the song? Does it need to pick up? Does it need to be more dynamic? So you kind of get those things just from the first version to see even if you're in the ballpark. Sometimes you're not. Now, one thing is you could be in the ballpark, but the first variation doesn't really seem like it, because I've had some where it's radically different. The roll variation 3 and 4 than 1 and 2, even when everything's the same. So, yes. For me, when I'm, depending on how picky I am, so usually the renders, how many renders does a real song take? When I'm actually counting them up, like soup to nuts from beginning to end, usually it's in the 30 to 40. I am starting to contemplate, is it maybe worth going into studio? But a lot of times, it's like whole sections are off. It's not just like 90. It's not just like a little piece of the song that I want to take over. It's like I want to bring it from like 90% to 100%. It's more of just like, this is shit, or this is way off base. It needs to be faster. Whole fucking sections. So sometimes I do get a little picky though towards the end. But by and large, for a song, probably between 25. So I'd say 20. 20, so that may be 10 rolls, because Suno has two variations per roll, so 10 to 20 rolls, but I would say 10, 15 is pretty much what it would take. And it is funny though, because sometimes like you're like, I don't know how, and I'm still trying to reconstruct it, because sometimes I'll be working on a song, and what was it? It was I forgot what I was working on. Rose probably would remember, but I was working on a song. Went to the bathroom. Nothing magical there. Just I went to the bathroom, got some water, came back, and then I was like, "Wait, what if Dax and Hans Zimmer had a baby?" I don't even know where that came from, because I wasn't even looking at a playlist. But sometimes through the process, it's like, "Oh wait, actually, I was reminded of this. Let's try that angle instead," and it's a completely different direction. I'm still trying to figure out the pattern on that, but sometimes it just clicks, and I don't know why. You'll probably experience the same thing. So, real, when we break it down, Slop is the receipt, not the verdict. If the AI keeps handing you garbage, you might not just be done yet. And there's a bunch of us. There is a bunch of us regenerating through it, re-rolling it over on Only Dan's AI. The link's in the description if you want to check it out.